Hello, beautiful and exotic women of the world. You disrespect yourself by letting others disrespect you. And there's always a very huge difference in someone being rude and disrespectful to you when it's just you and them, and when someone is being rude and disrespectful to you in front of others. Usually, people who are envious and jealous of you will harbor their jealous emotions and feelings and let them out when other people are around, kind of to use them as a buffer to establish dominance, to embarrass you, and to attempt to lower your value to those people that are around. It's different when someone disrespects you to your face and it's just you and them. I actually kind of prefer that a bitch would try me in that way, because then we can go toe to toe. Like, then we can actually check each other and then we can have a back and forth. But usually it doesn't go down like that. Usually an envious or jealous woman or man is going to wait for the opportunity to tear you down in front of other people, because when it's just you and them, they understand that the disrespect won't just be able to fly under the radar. You will be more inclined to address it in the moment. And a lot of them don't have the guts or the balls to do that in front of you, and while it's just you and them, because they understand that they would have to actually have an adult conversation with you, address the issue, and they would actually have to come to terms with what they're feeling. So it's a very sneaky and conniving sort of tactic that jealous and envious people use, because they understand that when there are other people around, a lot of other factors will be able to kind of mask their behaviors, and they're hoping that they can kind of power play with you while there are other people around. So I want to show you guys this clip that this video is inspired by, that I found on TikTok, where a psychologist actually breaks down the 4 pillars of people disrespecting you in front of others. And then I'll come back on to give you guys my 2 cents.
Why someone may tend to disrespect you in front of others. Tips from a psychologist. Number 1, jealousy. They can be envious of something you have, and bringing you down will make them feel superior. For example, a jealous family member will tend to insult you or make fun of you at family gatherings. Same goes for a jealous colleague. They might often passively attack you in group meetings. Number 2, unresolved personal issues. It can be that they have a hidden grudge or frustration due to a personal issue with you, and disrespect is their way of indirectly addressing it. Number 3, seeking attention. They might crave attention or approval from the group, and they chose disrespecting you to gain that spotlight. And number 4, power play. It can also be that they want to show dominance and control in front of the group, and they chose you to make themselves look stronger, either because you're a competition or because they see you as an easy target. I'm posting another video on how to effectively respond to such people and even flip the disrespect back on them.
I loved how he broke those things down, and I want to kind of give my own thoughts on each one. So the first one was jealousy, and he kind of spoke about the family member that insults you at a family gathering, or the colleague that tries you and uses passive aggression to disrespect you. First of all, family loves doing that. I don't know why, but family loves to embarrass you in front of other people. If you bring your friends or your significant other around your toxic, narcissistic mother or sister or auntie or grandmother, she's going to find ways to bring up embarrassing things that have happened to you while you were a teenager or while you were living at home. They're going to talk about your past exes in front of your new man. They're going to talk about embarrassing things that you told them in confidence. They also like to do this around other families. So if, let's say, for example, you're at a Thanksgiving get together and you don't see your extended family often, and then all of a sudden your narcissistic mother starts firing off at the mouth about, something that you failed at, they're going to use every last detail that is kind of like a painful thing for you to leverage and to use as a talking point in front of other people. And they know that this is going to make you uncomfortable. They know that you asked them to keep that between you and them, but because it's family, they feel like they have a pass to disrespect you, because what are you going to do? All you can do is say, hey, why would you say that? Get mad for a few seconds, but at the end of the day, we're still blood. That's how a lot of family thinks. They think that they're untouchable. They think that there are no consequences for actions because you guys are family. And I don't live by that set of rules. Okay, anybody can get cut off, so that does not apply to me. And then the other part about like your colleagues at work being passive aggressive, that is one of the top tactics of your narcissistic colleague, boss, manager, you name it. Passive aggression is their weapon of choice. They love to use this because they understand that their insults or their jabs toward you are going to be able to fly under the radar to the naked eye. No one will really be able to put their finger on what they're doing because they have no idea that this person has it out for you, low-key, is trying to get you fired, is intimidated by you. They don't know the details. They don't know the nitty-gritty, right? So if they were to fire off insults at you in a passive-aggressive way, or if they're throwing subliminals at you, or just exhibiting really weak, envious behavior, they know that they can get away with those insults and that disrespect because no one's really gonna bat an eye. The only person that notices it is you. So it's kind of like this silent rivalry or this silent beef between you and the person at work because only you two understand that there's a dynamic between you that is unhealthy and toxic. So that's why it's so easy for them to disrespect you in front of people, because if you lash out or if you make a big deal out of something that they say in front of other people are gonna look at you like, hey, you're taking that too personally, or why are you so quick to anger? That's so unprofessional. It's gonna put a bad light on the person who's calling out the toxic, narcissistic person. So that's why a lot of your haters at the workplace will use passive aggression, because they understand that if they can poke at you and poke at you and poke at you, and you really can't address it unless you create a case against them and go to HR. Other than that, I mean, they can get away with this all day, every day. Then he mentioned unresolved personal issues. And what I will say to that is, if someone has a personal issue with you and they're not addressing it, that's not your problem. Okay, so if you happen to rub somebody the wrong way, or if they're having some type of internal struggle and battle with their own feelings of intimidation, lack, inadequacy, jealousy, envy, that's their problem. At the end of the day, speak now or forever hold your peace. I don't give a fuck. Like, especially if I know I didn't do anything to you personally to hurt you, and you're just creating drama or creating problems that aren't real, that's something you have to deal with you and your God. That has nothing to do with me. And the way I feel about it, only weak bitches hold grudges and don't do anything about it. Like, unless you're checking me about something I did to you, then other than that, any other issue you have with me, babe, that's your problem. Because most of the time, if someone really has a problem and if it's personal, and let's say it's your friend or a family member, they should feel like they can come talk to you about it. But if you have people around you that like to hold grudges about things, and they're really petty, like they hold grudges, they look for opportunities to use something against you, those people, they are very, very, very calculated and weird. And you have to steer clear of people like that, because every little interaction you have with them is mental gymnastics. The third thing he spoke about is seeking attention. And this is kind of obvious. A lot of women will do this in social settings when they are intimidated, threatened, or insecure, or jealous of you. They will use bringing you down or disrespecting you as a social climbing tactic to try to elevate themselves within a group of women, within a job, whatever the case may be. She'll look for opportunities to tear down one woman who she feels is an easy target or who she feels threatened by, to uplift herself. And then finally, he mentioned power play. A lot of women want to establish dominance over the person who they're intimidated by. So because they feel small, they feel inadequate, they feel less than, what they feel like they have to do to feel worthy, to feel like they're better than you or equal to you, is to bring you down and to hurt your feelings. And so they'll do this to establish dominance. And I've experienced this with a narcissistic friend in high school who was very toxic. And she used to love embarrassing me and like calling me out in front of people. This was a white Hispanic girl, by the way. She used to love doing this to me. And I just remember how it definitely came off as like, I feel threatened by you, so I'm going to try to establish dominance over you. As I've gotten older, I kind of realized that this was a common theme in a lot of friendships that I had, where women were trying to find ways to one-up me, to embarrass me, to disrespect me in front of others. And so I quickly learned how to combat this, and I'm going to give you guys the sauce. So how you combat people who disrespect you is you address it right there in that moment. You don't want to give people multiple opportunities and chances to disrespect you, because once they see that you don't respect yourself, they're going to have a field day. They're looking at you like this piece of meat, and they're the big bad vulture about to swallow you up. The only way that you don't get eaten in this world is by being one of the people that eats first. And so what you do is, when you come across someone who's testing your boundaries, who tries to be passive aggressive with you, who tries to exert their dominance, who tries to hold grudges and use things against you in the future, what you do is you address it in the moment. You shine the light on what they're attempting to do to you, because guess what? If you want to make me uncomfortable, I'm going to make you uncomfortable. People don't have the right to make you feel uncomfortable, ladies. If someone is trying to get you out of your character, make you feel uneasy, make you feel uncomfortable, make you feel disrespected, you have every right to give it back to them. I'm a huge believer in what you put in, I put out. And I have come to a place in my life now that I'm older, where that's not even a theme anymore. I don't get disrespected, because when it happens in the moment, I address it and I let it be known that I will not tolerate whatever they're trying to exert onto me. Because a lot of times people are projecting. Their projections are a reflection of what's going on in their little pea brains, right? It's very remedial. It's very dumb. It's very zero brain cells. It's very, I feel insecure and threatened and jealous. And I can't relate. So ladies, drop down in the comment section. Let me know how you combat disrespect. Are you one of those people who gives passive aggression back to people who are passive aggressive? Do you mirror people who are disrespectful to you? What are your tactics? What are your different angles that you take in handling weirdo bitches? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. I'll also be leaving my email in the description box so you can share your stories with me there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.